What's up guys, Pablo here with another video, and today we have the unboxing and first impressions on the Jordan Delta Breathe in the Tech White colorway. This Breathe version of the silhouette dropped in July 15 of this year, and the funny or almost unusual thing about this version of the silhouette is that it dropped about 2 or 3 months after the original Jordan Delta came out. The original version that Jordan brand released for the Delta was released, I believe, in April or May, somewhere around that time frame earlier in the year. So I found that a little bit odd that Jordan brand decided to just drop them so close to each other without giving the original version a little bit more space to breathe. Get it? Because Delta breathe. But one thing that they do have in common is the retail price for $130. The colorway of the Delta Breathe that I'm showing you guys today consists of sail, tech white, and gray. But the shoe also has a couple of touches of red and blue mixed into this colorway scheme that I personally was a big fan of. Now when you first unbox the shoes, you can tell that it's a more modern take on the Jordan brand. The box has a large Jumpman branding on top of the lid, and the rest of the lid and around the box, there's a couple of branding, small branding details, like a more modern take on the 23, obviously from Jordan, including 3 zeros before the number 23. Now I looked everywhere to see if the 3 zeros behind the 23 on that small piece of branding that we actually see more throughout the box, if it had any specific meaning, but Nike and Jordan never explicitly mentioned what it means. Now the closest thing that I found for an answer was that that branding was part of other Jordan brand models, like the Jordan Proto React or the Jordan, I think it's the Proto 270 or 720. I think it's a 720 with the Air Max bubble that they made like a year and a half ago or something like that. And according to an article that I believe I found on Nike News, this is what Jordan brand is calling their flight utility range, aka their shoes that are more utilitarian rather than basketball oriented. But then again, that's just me making an assumption based on the research that I did. If you guys are aware of what it actually means, feel free to leave a comment down below. I would appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody else watching the video would as well.
Been pre-selected to receive a complimentary stay in one of our 5-star hotels.
No way.
For further details, press 1 now.
Alright, bet. But going back to the details on the shoebox, you also find branding details like Design for Flight, a regular 23, no 3 zeros behind it, in white font, a Jumpman logo, and then on one of the sides, the box includes the coordinates for the Nike World headquarters. And as we will see a little bit later on, this detail is also found on the medial side of the shoes themselves. Now, when you open the shoebox, the inside of the lid comes with a short branding message dead center of the lid. And the message reads, Jumpman 00023, inspired by greatness, designed for flight. Now moving on to the shoes themselves, this is, as mentioned already, more of a utilitarian take on Jordan sneakers, but this shoe specifically, as well as the original version of the Delta, is more about a lifestyle shoe. And the reason I say this is because Nike is specifically taking pride on the lifestyle feature or feeling to the sneakers. Nike mentions that the upper is designed for a lifestyle sneaker, and as the name suggests, it is meant to add breathability to the shoe. And one of the ways in which they did this was by adding lighter materials to this version of the Delta. More specifically, the materials used on the tongue of the shoe, as well as on the different overlays throughout the upper. And even when comparing them, I didn't have the original version with me, but even comparing them in pictures or in videos, you can tell that the original ones are a little bit heavier and they look a little bit chunkier. Now another way in which they gave the shoe more breathability was by giving it zonal perforations that add more airflow inside the shoe, and then also, although not related to the breathability, it also complements the overall aesthetic of the sneaker. Reason I say this is because they added multiple overlays to the upper on the shoe to give it a deconstructed look that we have honestly seen a lot ever since the Off-White collection came out. And although the upper consists of multiple overlays with different kind of materials for them, for example suede, the one that contributes a lot more to a deconstructed look is the semi-translucent overlay that we have seen previously in other Nike sneakers. Now another feature that makes this shoe more of a lifestyle sneaker is the React midsole that adds comfort and support to the shoe. The React pattern on the midsole is the same as the one we saw on the Delta, and it's very similar, if not the same, as the one we saw on the Proto React. Now the React pattern on this shoe is a little bit different. If you look at something like the Epic React or React Element, the pattern on these and obviously other React models is different than the one we see on the Delta. And the reason behind this is that Nike molded the React foam on this shoe with flexibility in mind. And then to remind you of the type of foam that this shoe comes with, they added React branding on the medial side of the midsole. We mentioned earlier that the materials used on the tongue were a little bit lighter than the original version of the Delta, but the tongue on this shoe is actually thinner than the other version of the Delta, which would have meant more pressure from lacing up the shoe on your foot. So what they did to fix this was they added a little bit of padding below the laces to relieve some of that pressure. Now the shoe also has a couple more details that are not so performance related. One of them being, as we mentioned earlier, the fact that it comes in the medial side with the coordinates for the Nike World headquarters. According to what I read, was they actually, if you were to put them in a map or whatever, they would actually point you closer towards the Jordan building within Nike's headquarters. Another detail that caught my attention, primarily because the original Delta didn't have it, was the Nike Swoosh. Swoosh. I've been getting roasted in the comments for saying it wrong apparently, because I say swoosh instead of swoosh. Swoosh. The very nice touch on this shoe, however, is that the Nike logo is split between two different overlays. So if you look closer, the front end of the logo is on the inside of the semi-translucent overlay. But then the rest of the logo, or the back end of the logo if you will, sticks out from a black opening that's closer towards the heel, where it continues to run until it wraps around the heel itself. Another unique detail to the shoe was the Jumpman branding on the ripstop pull tab that's found on the collar, right on the lockdown heel cup that's found on the back of the shoe. As we've been mentioning throughout the video, the only other real option for this shoe is the regular version of the Delta. Now, the whole thing about the Delta that I've found kind of weird is that Nike doesn't refer to it as SP or Special Projects, but another websites, for example GOAT, refers to some of the colorways as Jordan Delta, and then to other colorways as Jordan Delta SP. Not entirely sure what's happening there, but whichever one you get, the Delta or the Delta SP, you're technically getting the same shoe. This Delta Breed shoe, I thought it was pretty great. It kept the essence of the Jordan brand. It did a really good job with making a lifestyle shoe, but I'm still not entirely sure how much of a great shoe this is. I don't think I could wear it as much with the highlights, the blue and red highlights, and then the gray, and then the tech white mixture. Like, there's a lot going on with this shoe. To put it simple, I like the shoes and they have potential. I just want to wait for more colorways to see how they stack up against other silhouettes. And the main reason why I really like this shoe is that deconstructed utilitarian look that it has. The sizing for the shoes is another important factor that you should consider if you want to buy these. This version of the Delta runs a little bit big. I bought my usual size 11, but there was a lot of space on the front that I was just not filling up. So my recommendation for you is to go half a size down. If you can try them on and you know that half a size down is still big, then definitely go a full size down, because these do run quite large. But anyways, that was it for today's video. I really hope you liked it, and if you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to keep on watching more sneaker unboxings. And yeah, one more time, that was it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are amazing. Pablo, out.